Hello, my name is Kim T. I'm very happy to be here to share with you my experience and understanding concerning consecration, especially after reading the last chapter of the book, The Overcoming Life. Putting consecration as a subject in the last chapter of the book, The Overcoming Life, is very apt because many times our consecrations cannot come up to God's standard because the strength and ability of a consecration come from ourselves and not from God. Hence, we need to be warned by the watchman Nee that we should consecrate not by ourselves but by God and by experiencing the overcoming life. After we have experienced the overcoming life, we can proceed to consecrate ourselves according to the teaching in Romans chapter 6 and Romans chapter 12. And the positive result of consecrating ourselves in Romans chapter 6 is that we will live a sanctified life. And the positive result of us consecrating ourselves, our body, as a living sacrifice, which is our most reasonable service, is the fulfillment of God's will. He exhorted us in the last chapter, almost in the last portion of the chapter, that we should consecrate the one we love, the affairs in our life, and the things that we accumulated and hold dear, and even to consecrate our entire being. I believe that includes our spirit, soul, and body. But that can only be the result of our spending time with the Lord, especially when we see His beauty and attracted by Him. Only a revelation of Christ would give us that strength to overcome many things that entangle us on this earth. And this living Christ, which is most beautiful, attractive in the whole universe, He is a person in us. When we consecrate ourselves to the Lord, it's like a car being consecrated. A consecrated car without a driver is meaningless. And if we can even consecrate our whole life, but without Christ as a person, our consecration will amount to nothing. And therefore, our consecration should be a consecration to allow Christ to live in us. Just like Paul saying in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, we have a treasure in an earthen vessel. This treasure is simply the Lord Himself, as a person in us, with the slight inclination. Therefore, when we consecrate ourselves to the Lord and allow Him to live in us, like Paul said in Galatians 2:20, "For I have been crucified with Christ, and no longer I will live, but Christ who lives in me," as a person with his like and dislike, inclination and desire. When He asks us to go to a remote area to preach the gospel, we are going by Him, through Him, and with Him. But if He wants us to pursue a degree, a master, even a PhD, then we should do it in Him, through Him, and by Him. Hence, consecration is not our traditional religious concept of doing things for God. Consecration is to allow this most wonderful person to live in us and to live out of us in our life and in our service. So what is the way that God had provided us to consecrate to Him? And the way is a very simple way. That simple way is that every day, especially in the morning, We will come to the Lord as an open vessel, come to Him in an individual way. Consecration, in fact, is something very personal, very intimate, very individual, and of course, very spiritual. As we spend that quality, sweet, intimate time with the Lord, He will come to fellowship with us positively, and negatively He will deal with us many negative things which we need to confess and deal with, and all this will be emptied out so that we will make room in our whole being to allow the Lord to fill us and saturate us inch by inch until our entire being is being filled by Him.